I'm going to take it off of the front end being locked up to just the bottom. May have to roll forward a little bit. It's out of gear. Yes.
Small donuts. Some kind of frosted donuts. Yeah.
Thinking follow you.
Yeah, it's all right. We just deal with it. Make it turn easier.
Yelled out at him before we left. Last one down, he's a loser.
Yeah.
Last one down, bites
Bad deal. Yeah. Yeah.
You need one of those GoPro mounts that clamps to the mirror.
Yeah, but then it would,
You get a lot of vibration.
yeah, it'd be shaking like hell more so than what it is now. Yeah, it's kind of going around the mountain instead of coming. You want a picture of that sign or anything?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. It's up to 80. So. Yeah, 66 or 4. That's fine. Just run over them.
I didn't know if they were gonna collapse under the wheel or not.
Need one of those steering wheel balls.
Yeah. I wonder if that platform up there is somebody opening up a mine.
Oh,
I bet that's what it is. Come on, turn.
yeah, I think Tammy's bucket factor would have been screwed tight here.
Be one big gigantic bite and a hole in that seat back there.
Yeah.
That's how I used to tell people looking at airplane to buy. First thing you do is open the door and look at the left seat. If you see bite marks on it, close the door and walk away.
Yeah, somebody's overdone that airplane.
friend of mine, I taught him to fly, and then he just had to have a twin. So he bought a sight unseen Piper Aztec. And that thing is nothing in the world more than just a flying turd. And I went down to help him, give him his multi-engine, and we took off in that thing out of Sinton, and we were a couple hundred feet off the ground, and the left engine quit. And the only thing saved our ass, I wasn't climbing out very steep, and we were above blue line, which is minimum control with single engine. I swung way around and came back and landed. And Henry thought that I had did it, and I said, no, the engine quit. And we're too low to be farting with it. So we landed back at Sinton, and I just taxied off into the grass. And he said, you're not gonna taxi up yonder? And I said, no. And he said, what do you want me to do with this? And I said, wait till I get about 100 yards down the way and then stick a match to it. And
I doubt he'll give you your money back.
he said, well, I thought it was a good airplane. I said, no, it's a piece of shit. And I said, did you actually see this thing before you bought it? And he said, well, no, I just went by what the people told me. And I said, well, they're probably still laughing. And he called me back about a month and a half, 2 months later, and said, well, I sold the Aztec. And I said, all right, did you include a clause that releases you of any and all liability? And he said, no. And I said, well, maybe you'll be okay. And then about another month later, he called me and he said, I bought another twin. And the first thing I asked him was, have you seen this one? And he said, oh yeah, they brought it down here. We flew it around. It's got brand new paint, and it has brand new factory Lycomings in it. And I said, all right, who did it? He said, Cessna. And I said, all right, where is it? It was in Grand Junction, Colorado. He bought a 401, which is the beginning of the cabin class twins. And I flew up there, and the guy said, oh yeah, Mr. Cox said that you were coming. And I said, yeah. He said, well, for our insurance, let's fly around a little bit. And I said, okay. And then he said, you ever fly a 401 before? I went, no. And I said, but airplane's an airplane. And he said, well, let's fly around a little bit. And we did. And he said, are you sure you never flew one of these before? I told him, said, no. And he said, well, it's all right. He said, you'll be fine. So we topped it off with gas, and I left, and I flew back to Fort Worth and landed for the day in Spinks Airport out there. And I called Henry and told him, said, I'll bring it down either tomorrow or the next day. I'm done. And you want to go look at that cabin or just picture from here?
That cabin is what? The mount?
Yeah, that I don't know if you can get to it over there or not with that snow, but
Yeah, I don't think you can. It's kind of steeper.
Might dip in a little bit. Zoom in. Try to catch a shot.
you're good.
Is that cabin related to some mine?
That was an early, probably an early miner's cabin from back in the day.
Yeah, it didn't even have a place to keep the firewood out of the weather.
Yeah. But Henry, he did fine. He got his multi-engine. He fucked up a lot. He would fly at IFR altitudes when he was VFR. He didn't have an IFR rating. I told him time and time, one of these days you're going to get your ass caught because your transponder is sending out a signal, and it's giving your tail numbers and your altitude. And It took about 3 years, but somebody caught him. He liked to fly at 12,000, and he got caught.